Hi, my name is Oscar and I'm a scientist. In today's video, we're going to talk about a letter that a group of 56 US representatives, members of Congress, sent to the Biden administration to change the way the visa bulletin works for the better. I'm going to tell you all about that letter. We're going to read it together. It's a very short one. But first, let me reiterate how this channel is for those of you who are interested in self-petitioning, self-sponsoring your own green card. Green cards like EB1A and EB2NAW. In those categories, you can do it yourself without having a company sponsoring you, without having a job offer, and even without hiring lawyers. So let's jump into my other screen so we can take a quick look at what is today's topic. We're going to talk about this guy, Raja Krishnamurthy. He is the Illinois Democratic US Congressman, and he has spearheaded an initiative, a group of US representatives, 56 of them, bipartisan, both in the Republican and Democratic side, are signing a letter directed to the Biden administration to relieve this place where we are now, negative place where we are now in terms of visa bulletin. If you remember our recent videos, you can go to my August 2023 visa bulletin video where we talk about the backlog for India, for example, for EB1. You can go to my video about retrogression to understand what is that, what happens when the dates move backwards in the visa bulletin. But in summary, what we are seeing these days is that the backlogs are generally increasing when it comes to adjustment of status. While the processing times get better for the I-140 form, for example, things are getting smoother, faster, but then people get stuck in the adjustment of status because there's too many people applying for a green card, applying for adjustment of status, and there are not enough visa numbers. There are only 140,000 green cards that can be granted each year, and that is a number that Congress imposes. So that creates a lot of backlogs in the visa bulletin system. What they do is they try to estimate how many people will adjust their status, and then they give visa numbers to those that are applying, and then the dates on the visa bulletin reflect those movements, but sometimes they don't reflect them all that well. And that is what this group of representatives is calling the attention to. So let's go and take a read on the actual letter so we can understand what this group of representatives are asking. So it's only a 3-paragraph letter. I'm going to leave the link to the actual letter in the description section below, so you can go and read it at your own pace if that's what you want to do, but I will highlight the main points here. So the letter is addressed to Secretary Mayorkas and Secretary Blinken. Those are the Department of State and Department of Homeland Security secretaries. And basically what this group of US Congress members are saying is, look, we have a lot of immigrants coming to the US, many of which work in STEM sectors, many of which are scientists, inventors, healthcare workers, entrepreneurs, and people with a lot of talent that contribute to the US competitiveness. And the current immigration system is broken. They say it here very clearly. Many of you, by the way, many of the viewers of this channel have said the same thing in the comment section. And this is making it almost impossible for them to stay in the US. Given these backlogs that we are seeing and we have been seeing for a long time, and Canada's recruitment, and by the way, I have a video on one of those Canadian initiatives that you can go and check out. The number of individuals who remain committed to waiting for an employment-based green card is unclear. So I like how they say it's unclear. They are not even saying it's high or low. They're saying we just don't know. So that's why they are encouraging the administration to make all employment-based visas current on the visa bulletin of October 1st, 2023. Remember that October is when the new fiscal year 2024, will start. So this is very interesting. They are saying, take the visa bulletin, remove all those dates, make it current, so let people apply. They continue, by definition, on October 1st, the first day of the fiscal year, none of the available 140K employment-based green cards have been allocated. I mean, that's by definition. On the first day, nobody has used any visa number. And also, we don't know how many applicants have already applied or will apply if they apply. Some number will be approved and some number will be denied during that year. Other individuals may have even lost their employer sponsor during that time of waiting, maybe because they got laid off, and they put the example of the tech sector, or even moved to a country with more straightforward immigration laws. And as we know, many countries will have more simpler laws. And the only way the US is still getting all this attention is because the US does have a lot of opportunities and people do want to move to the US, but certainly the immigration system is not very friendly. So what they are saying in this paragraph is, look, we don't know how many people are still waiting. We don't have credible statistics as to how many people are in line for sure, because many of the people that are currently in the line of the visa bulletins, what the visa bulletin reflects today, maybe is not real because some people may already have left the country for other countries where the immigration system is more accepting, or maybe they have lost their jobs, okay? So let's continue with the last paragraph where they call the administration to action. So over the last years, the Department of State have been widely inconsistent in how it has set the bulletin, the visa bulletin, creating confusion among those seeking employment-based green cards. This is very true. Therefore, all eligible applicants who already have an approved employment-based immigration petition, Form I-140, should have the opportunity to submit an I-485 application for adjustment of status. Again, if you want to know more about adjustment status, I have another video. Between October 1st and October 31st of each fiscal year. This way, the administration can ensure it will have sufficient applicants to award each of the available green cards, and it has been the case that many prior years have seen green cards go wasted rather than be issued to extremely deserving applicants. This fact is critical because between fiscal year 1992 to fiscal year 2021, the federal government failed to issue at least 194,000 available employment-based green cards. There is historical precedent to utilizing the visa bulletin to gauge interest in green cards. Gauge interest in green cards. This is going to be important. Such as when President George W. Bush and his administration marked all days as current in the July 2007 visa bulletin. Then they thank for their time and they look forward to their collaboration. This last paragraph is extremely important. What they are saying is, look, change the visa bulletin to current so people can apply during the month of October. So at least you will have a count on how many people in the line that we think we have are actually hoping to file that adjustment of status, and they didn't leave the country or they lost their job and are out of status and they can apply, and so on and so on. So just create that window of opportunity for people to declare their intention to file an adjustment of status. If they do that, number one, the government will know that they exist so they can plan better. But number two, if you let people file adjustment of status, even if there is no visa number available, you are allowing them to file also for certain temporary benefits, such as the right to travel, the travel document or advance parole, and the EAD card or employment authorization card. So they can work in the US. They have some sort of, it's not a status, but at least is the benefit to be able to work, which they couldn't do that if they cannot file adjustment of status. So all in all, this letter makes a lot of sense. I don't know if it's going to be, if this wish is going to be granted or not by the State Department and Department of Homeland Security. Remember, USCIS is a part of that. I don't know if they will say yes to this. It is a considerable number of congressmen and women requesting it, but it is an extraordinary measure. They do say there is a precedent of 2007, but you can see by that year that it has been a while and it hasn't been used. That kind of measure hasn't been used in the time that has passed since 2007 to now. That tells you that it's extraordinary. So I also don't know how easy it will be. Maybe they will see an avalanche of adjustment of status that then they will have to process in one way or another, and that may create more administrative issues for the government. So I don't know if the resources are there to enable this kind of measure, or if they have to wait a little bit before they can take this kind of action without causing chaos in the system, or more chaos than it exists right now. But I did think that this is an interesting letter that you should all know about, even if it end up not being taken advantage by as an idea by the government. You should know that these things are happening. There's also some interesting things happening in Congress that I will talk about in future videos. And of course, if you are interested in filing an EB2NAW or EB1A green card petition, I recommend that you visit my websites, eb1greencard.info or eb2naw.info, where I have a lot of posts. I go about each of the steps of the process. I have sample petitions that you can use to craft your own do-it-yourself petition. And importantly, I have online courses for both of the categories where I tell you step by step how to qualify for each of the green cards. I tell you how to craft your petition, your recommendation letters, your professional plans, everything you need to in order to be successful, in order to be able to have an approval, saving thousands of dollars in lawyers, and basically getting your dream of becoming a US permanent resident come true in the near future. So with that, I thank you for your support, for subscribing to this channel, for sharing this channel with others, and I will see you in the next video.